back. I think the best way to introduce our next guest is to let the videotape tell the story. It's April 1974, Atlanta Stadium, and something historic is about to happen. Recently voted into baseball's Hall of Fame, here's Mr. Hank Aaron. Hank? Pleasure to meet you. That was, that's exciting to see that. I guess you've seen it several times by now, huh?
You get little goose pimples on it.
Yeah. Did you get a phone call from the White House after that, or?
Believe it or not, I did. Well, you know, the funniest thing about that day, that night, after I hit the home run, I went back to left field, and I was standing in my position to catch a fly ball, and Donald Davis, and our traveling secretary, was running down left field line. He was telling me the president was on telephone. And I said, well, fine, Donald. I said, but what do you want me to do, stop the ball game? I said, just put the president on hold and I'll be right with him. and sure enough, right after the inning, I went running up the steps, and of course, the president was on telephone, and he was inviting myself and my wife to be his guest at the White House.
This would be President
Nixon. Right. You said it. But anyhow, I answered the telephone. He said, Henry, I said, I would like for you to be my guest at the White House. I said, what, fine, Mr. President. I said, thank you very much. I said, when do you want me to be your guest? He said, as soon as possible. Hell, I didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah. He didn't make it quickly enough. How do you stack up with some of these guys who were your peers, Pete Rose, physically? Now, you've retired 5-6 years ago.
Well, I don't make quite as much money as Pete. My cap stayed on my head, of course.
Now, what's that? Now, some ball players, Willie Mays, one of the greatest, would lose his cap. Roberto Clemente, another fine ball player, one of the greatest, lost his cap. You didn't have that problem, Hank. What's...
Well, I think one reason they always gave me one that fit. I gave them the right size, but no. I think, you know, really, I just played the game the way it was supposed to be played. You know, if you're noticed, and I'm sure a lot of people around the country have seen Joe DiMaggio play baseball, and who was truly one of the greatest stars that ever played the game, he did things the way it was supposed to be done. I made a few mistakes. I was not flashy, but you know, why should I run after a fly ball when it's 20 rows in the stand? You know, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
See, what you're implying here, what I'm hearing a little bit of is you're saying some of these guys may have been hot dogs, just a little there.
Well, I'm going to leave that alone. You said it.
Well, no, I don't want Pete Rose coming looking for me. But now, who's between the two, you and Pete, who would be, let's just, for example, pick a skill here, the better runner, the quicker, the faster?
Oh, no question about it. I was a better runner than Pete. No, and I don't mean that to try to downgrade Pete, because he is truly one of the great ball players in this country. But,
not sure. Not sure what happened over there.
But, you know, I could run the bases pretty well.
You know, I got to tell you this, and everybody tells you this. I wasn't in Atlanta when you parked 7:15, but I was in Cincinnati when you knocked out 7:14, and that was the one that tied the record. And for me, it was a huge thrill, and I don't know, I just had to get that in. Now, one of those things, I started talking, I realized I didn't have much to say, and I felt like, well, I'll finish it up. I think I'm faster than Pete Rose, too. Now, let's see, what else? You, during that time, a lot of pressure on you, I guess, huh?
Well, I did have a lot of pressure on me. It was about 2.5 years, you know, constantly being harassed by the press.
Mm-hmm.
The same questions. Why didn't you hit a home run tonight? Even if I would go 4 for 4, why didn't you hit a home run? Why did you take this pitch? It was pressure because if you never played the game of baseball, people don't realize that you just can't walk up to the plate and hit a home run anytime you want to, you know.
Now, I was under the impression that you said that night in Atlanta you felt like you were going to do it. You wanted to get it over with, right?
I felt like I wanted to get it over with. I was happy that I got it over with for 2 reasons. One, for my teammates, and the other ones was because of the fact that I wanted to go back and start playing baseball the way I
it's tough.
know how to play it.
Yeah. Now, let's get up to present. Recently, you were voted into the Hall of Fame at your earliest opportunity of eligibility, and this happens regardless of who the player is. You were not a unanimous vote. 9 writers decided Henry Aaron wasn't quite ready to go into the Hall of Fame. Now,
they were asleep. They were asleep.
But they do that with everybody. Now, what is the deal on that?
Well, I don't know, you know, but I'm going to give you my reason for that is because I think that, you know, even before those 9 writers did not vote for me, I was called on a telephone by several sports writers that told me that, you know, Joe DiMaggio was not a unanimous choice. Willie Mays was not a unanimous choice.
Babe Ruth was not.
Babe Ruth,
Ty Cobb was not.
and you can go on and on and on. Well, you know, I'm not saying that I should have been a unanimous choice, but I think that if they're going to start saying that simply because those other guys were not a unanimous choice, I think that's wrong. You know, every ball player should be judged on his own merit and how he produced and what he did on the field rather than talking about other players.
Yeah. Did you ever have any difficulty with umpires? Ever get fights, kicked dirt on them, tossed out of games?
Oh, I felt like kicking dirt on a few of them, but never had in a fight. Never got kicked out of a ball game.
What are the regulations? What can you do to an umpire? You can't kick dirt on them, can you? Or can you?
No, you can't spit in their face.
No.
And you got
You folks at home may want to take these down.
And you have to make sure that you brush your teeth.
We're going to pause here. No, we're not going to pause here. We're going to say goodbye. Thank you. I'm new at the job. Hank, it was a pleasure. I've been a big fan of yours for years. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, Al Albert, WNBC Sports. In your long and illustrious career, was that the toughest interview you've ever gone through?
That was really tough, but I enjoyed it.
Did he throw you any curves?
Believe it or not, he threw me probably one of the best curveballs I've ever seen, but I enjoyed it. I thought he was a great interview.
How would you rate that? A single, double, triple, or a home run?
I would have to rate it as a home run.
Yes, he's being known as a slugger around here right now.
I thought David did a terrific job. It was great.
Would you place him in the same league as a Carson and the others?
Well, I've never been interviewed by Johnny Carson, but I would have to say that as far as I'm concerned, David is on top.
Never been interviewed. I guess that's why he's being called Scoop Letterman. Hank Aaron, thank you very much. Hank Aaron coming through once again. Al Albert, back to you, David.
Thank you very much. Al Albert, NBC Sports, and Hank Aaron coming up. Irving Caesar. We'll be right back.